guys, welcome to the Star Wars Day video of 2022! Woo! Happy Star Wars Day to everyone! I can't believe it's Star Wars Day already. I really enjoy celebrating Star Wars on May 4th, and that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. But before we get started, I do have a few things to address. You may have noticed I have not been posting in April, and that's because I've been busy with college and whatnot. I mean, I did post one video, but that was like a documentary for class, but yeah, as far as regular videos go, I had not been posting much, and that's because I've been busy with college. But I'm finally on summer break now. So we're back on the video grind, and as a result of that happening, there's going to be a few belated videos. One of them's going to be an Easter video. I still want to post that. And then after that, I did go to Winter Jam, and I did say on Facebook that I was going to make a video out of that. So that'll be a belated video as well. And I still want to do that Cobra Kai video. So I guess that's belated too. But yeah, we're finally at the point where we're going to start making videos again. And the first video back is a special Star Wars Day video for y'all. As you read by the title, today we'll be ranking 5 Star Wars TV shows. Now, I know there's like way more than 5 TV shows, but I only watched 5, and that is The Bad Batch, Star Wars The Clone Wars, Mandalorian, Rebels, and Book of Boba Fett. Those are the 5 TV shows that I'll be ranking today, and I've not watched the other TV shows, like The Resistance, Visions, or whatever the other ones are, so they won't be included on this list. And same for the Kenobi series, because like that's not even out yet, but I can't wait for that later in May. I wish it came out on May 4th, but it comes out on May 27th, I think, so that won't be on the list either. But if it was out right now, I'd probably, I don't know where I would rank that, but I'm hoping it's really good. Anyway, let's get started with this list. At number 5, we have the Book of Boba Fett. The series came out on December 29th, 2021. I don't think I watched it until like January or February. I was like really excited to watch it, but I kind of got confused with the Boba Fett flashbacks. Like, I don't know, like it kind of like made the series like slow in the beginning with how Boba Fett constantly had these like flashbacks of like what happened immediately after he came out of the Sonic pit. I mean, that was a cool moment, seeing him like come out of the Sonic pit. But after that it was kind of a bore. But it did get a little better throughout the series. I think by the 5th episode, when everything was like present day, it started to get interesting to me. I was still interested in the flashbacks, but it was still hard to follow. Like, once it was like present day, it was like much easier to follow along with. And I did like episode 6 where they show what Grogu from another series I'm going to talk about on this list. Like, it was nice seeing what they were like up to, because I did like the show that I'm going to like talk about soon. Like, it was nice seeing him again in this. But there was like no mention of Boba Fett really. I mean, there was a mention of him, but it kind of was not his show, like, during episode 6. Like, it was more of a spin-off of another show that I'm gonna like talk about on this list. I don't want to mention it right now, but you probably have an idea of what I'm talking about. But I feel like that made the later episodes better. There was like more action, and then there was someone else from another show like Cad Bane. Yeah, that was like cool seeing him back in action. But I wish all this happened a little earlier in season 1. Like, there will be a season 2 soon, so I'm hoping that's like a lot better than season 1. I mean, some of these shows that I'm ranking, like, they're still relatively new. I wish the story was like more engaging. Like I said, I don't mind the flashbacks, but it was kind of confusing to like understand what's happening. There's this one show that I like that is not Star Wars. It's actually Cobra Kai. In season 3, there are a bunch of flashbacks in that. With those flashbacks, is like easy to like understand. Like with John Kreese, like what's happening with him in the army and whatnot. I find myself understanding those flashbacks better than the Boba Fett flashbacks, and because of that, well, because I'm not really understanding the flashbacks much, it's kind of like, it kind of like lowered my interest of the series. I mean, I'm really hoping it gets better in season 2, because like I do see potential in it. It's just the flashbacks made it like hard to understand, and I couldn't really wrap my head around what was going on. But let's move on to number 4. At number 4, we have The Bad Batch, and funny enough, this came out on May 4th, 2021, which was last year, so when this video comes out, it'll be its 1-year anniversary. I actually really like The Bad Batch. Like, it has like action-packed scenes with Hunter, Wrecker, Echo, Mega, Tech. Like, it's really action-packed with these characters, especially in the very first episode when Order 66 happens and everything. Like, oh my gosh, like that wasn't that big episode there. I'm not gonna lie. Like, of course there's Crosshair, but he's not really a part of the Bad Batch anymore because he does turn on them. Like that, the first episode, oh my gosh, that was so epic. Like, I really enjoyed that episode. And I enjoyed the second episode too. But then after that, there was like filler episodes, and I'm not really interested in the filler episodes. Like, they do interesting stuff in the filler episodes. Like, they go on bounty hunter missions and whatnot. But I wasn't really interested in like in the middle part of it because of those filler episodes. After that, around episode 10, it does get interesting again. Especially the final 2 episodes. Like, oh my gosh, like they go to the Camino and it gets destroyed. Like, oh my gosh. Like, episode 15 was a cliffhanger because of that. Like, I was thinking, oh my god, did they kill off the people already? And then Crosshair, in the final episode, he does like kind of egg on Hunter to like join him and whatnot. Like, like that moment was like really tense. I really wish this was like higher on the list, but the filler episodes kind of like lowered it down. But yeah, I still really like the series, and I still like Book of Boba Fett too, but the things I mentioned caused it to be last on the list. And with this one, the filler episodes caused it to be at number 4. With number 4 out of the way, it's time for the top 3. At number 3, we have Star Wars Rebels. This series came out on October 3rd, 2014, but I didn't start watching this until like maybe last year. I started 2021 watching Cobra Kai because like season 3 came out, and I just wanted to like watch that. And then after that, I didn't really know what else to watch because like I wanted to like watch TV shows for some reason. I watched Clone Wars, which is going to be higher on the list. That's why I haven't mentioned it yet. I watched that, and after that I watched Rebels, so it took me a few years to watch Rebels. Because, as I mentioned, it came out in 2014, and I didn't watch it till 2021. So, yeah. I really enjoyed it. It has this, like, good moments and whatnot. Like, this is, like, the first episode that I mentioned that has what it needs. A lightsaber. I mean, like, a Star Wars TV show does not need a lightsaber for me to like it, but it's like one of the first that has a lightsaber. And it does have moments that I enjoyed about it, but, there's reasons why it's, like, at number 3 rather than, higher on the list. And that's because season 1, I wasn't too interested in season 1. I still watched every season of it. Like, there's only 4 seasons, and I still watched every season, but, I didn't really like season 1. I mean, it is the first, season, so everybody's not gonna, like, enjoy it, but, like, as the show goes on, you tend to like the show more. And that's kind of what happens, because, later on, they show Darth Vader, Ahsoka, Captain Rex, and everybody from the Clone Wars, which will be mentioned later in the list. Like, as soon as old people from old series came back, it just made the show interesting. Oh, and Darth Maul comes back too. Like, after some old characters, like, come to the show, like, it got me, like, hooked to the series. Especially in season 2, where, Darth Vader fights Ahsoka, like, like, here's a clip of that. Like, that moment had me hooked. And there's, like, other stuff, too, between Darth Maul and Kanan, like, like, what happened to him? Like, Darth Maul was really, like, to Kanan's eyes. It just blinded him. Like, that moment caused character growth in Kanan, and that made the series fun to watch. And all this happened between season 2 and season 3, but the beginning of season 4, I wasn't really interested in it, because, like, not much was happening. But in the last episode, like, it does get real interesting. Because, like, the characters do go on this crazy mission, to, like, stop the Empire. But, and this mission, sadly leads to the death of one of the characters, Kaden. But, yeah, like, the last episode was, Star Wars The Clone Wars, because, like, all the things that you just met. Now it's time for the last 2 shows. At number 2, we have Star Wars The Mandalorian. This series was released on November 12th, 2019. It was actually one of the first live-action Star Wars TV show that I watched. And in fact, I think it was like the first live-action TV show that was made too. Because, like, most Star Wars TV shows are like animated, like the Rebels, Bad Batch, and the Clone Wars. But this is like the first one that I believe was live action. At first, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it because like the time period that it takes place in. The Mandalorian takes place after the Return of the Jedi, and knowing the movies that happen like after that, like Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker, like knowing those like happen after the Mandalorian, if you like consider the time period that Star Wars has. Yeah, I just didn't think I would like it, because like it literally takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, like after the events of that. Just knowing that, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, because as I said, if you watch my top 9 Star Wars movies list, you'll know that I was not a huge fan of the sequels. Like, they were like the last on my list, and that list was ranked worst to best, like this one is. So, yeah. But, I actually enjoyed it. Like it had me hooked. Like had me hooked with this bounty hunter character, the Mandalorian. Just seeing the Mandalorian for the first time, like, the character was, like, epic. And seeing Grogu for the first time, like, Baby Yoda, like, he was so cute. like I even got the Lego set of him. Unfortunately, I haven't built it yet because if you watch the Christmas video, you know that I lost a piece of this, so unfortunately, no Baby Yoda. But, yeah, like, these characters go on a crazy journey on these bounty hunter missions, and also they went to, like, multiple planets, including Tatooine, and it doesn't have much lightsaber fighting. Like, most of it is just the Mandalorian using his, like, blaster, to fight people, which is okay. Like, I'm fine with that. And, I also enjoyed the mystery behind what, the Mandalorian looks like, because, like, for some reason, he follows this code that says he shouldn't take off his mask. And he, like, follows it to the T, like, throughout the series, and because of that, you can't really tell the facial expressions that this character's making at some moments, but, somehow, you can still understand his emotion. Like when he had to give up Baby Yoda, near the end, like, I felt how he felt in that moment. But, he does take off his mask, in, like, the later episodes. Like, the first time he did, he, like, he, like, messed up, like, during this. Like, during that. But, there are lightsabers in this, because Ahsoka, and Luke Skywalker, they're in the series near the end. Like, Ahsoka does, like, use the lightsaber at one point, but it's not, like, green. It's, like, white. Kind of like how it was in Rebels. And she does have, like, a fight scene between, I forgot the character's name. It's not really a lightsaber versus lightsaber fight, but it's still epic. And then Luke Skywalker, oh my gosh, when he comes back, he, like, destroys all the bad guys that were in the room, and that was epic. That was so epic there. But then, shortly after that, Baby Yoda goes with him, and I hope we do, see him again in Mandalorian Season 3, but we did get to see him in the Book of Boba Fett, as I mentioned. I didn't mention him by name, but yeah, like, he was in that with, like, Luke Skywalker and Mandalorian again. Like, it was nice seeing them again, but, like I mentioned, because of that, it didn't really seem like Book of Boba Fett. It seemed more like, a mini Mandalorian spin-off. The CGI on Luke did get better, in the Book of Boba Fett, I will say that, because in this, it wasn't really the best, but they tried. That's about all I have to say about The Mandalorian. Now it's time for number 1. At number 1, we have Star Wars: The Clone Wars. This came out on October 3rd, 2008. Probably one of the oldest series on this list. The rest are relatively new, but this is like the oldest one. It got to number 1 for a reason, and I'm gonna get into that soon. I did watch this as a kid. I don't really remember much as a kid, but when it was on Disney Plus, I binge watched it last year, as I mentioned earlier on the list. I almost forgot how epic it was. Like, it was real epic. Like, there was a lot happening. Like, it was when the Jedi were at the prime, like, it was between episode 2 and 3, like, in my opinion, the best time. Like, I actually like the prequels. I mean, they had their flaws, especially episode 2. That time period, I just really enjoyed that time period. Like, the Jedi at the prime, the clones are still good. Because, like, it was before Order 66, but yeah, like, all of that made this time period so epic. I mean, in Season 2, you have, Boba Fett trying to kill Mace Windu, with pretending to be a clone cadet, and it almost almost killing Anakin and Mace Windu, and then Season 3, you have Anakin seeing visions of the dark side, and, like, of his future. And then in Season 4, you have Obi-Wan pretending to be a bounty hunter for this, like, plan. Not to mention, he faked his death during this. Like, it was... like, that was epic. And then the last season, Season 7, like, that was epic. Like, that... like, these things made Star Wars: The Clone Wars so epic. I mean, it made Anakin a much better character, because, like, if you remember in, the prequel trilogy, he was kind of, like, whining too much. But in this, you could see his, dark turn, and, I really enjoyed it. I really wish it was still happening. Unfortunately, it got canceled because George Lucas switched the rights to Star Wars to Disney. And I guess for some reason they canceled Clone Wars. Like, it was very upsetting when that happened. But I'm really happy that Disney came up with Season 7. Like, that was just so epic. I mean, I really enjoyed watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars, because, like, all the things that you just mentioned, it's action-packed, the stories are, like, well told throughout it. It was between episode 2 and episode 3, which means the Jedi's are at the prime, fighting wars like crazy, and not to mention, the last few episodes of Season 7, they actually take place during, Revenge of the Sith. Like there's even this dialogue that's literally exactly the same in the Clone Wars. It's when Mace Windu and Yoda are, like, talking to other Jedi on, like, this hologram, in this hologram area. I got to see that moment again, and Ahsoka, comes in, and she was so close to seeing Anakin again. If she saw Anakin, if she saw Anakin, I think this would have, like, stopped Revenge of the Sith from happening, but she didn't get to see him, and she didn't mention anything about it. So, I wonder what would happen if she got to see Anakin again, like, what would happen to episode 3. And also, Order 66 happens in this. Like, Darth Maul is here too. Like, he's still around. Like, I almost forgot to mention that Darth Maul returns, and I think he returns around Season 3 or 5. But, in Season 7, he's back to his prime. And he helps Ahsoka, like, during Order 66 by destroying people, like, destroying the clones in the hallway. but then he betrays her by leaving. And Rex, like, oh my gosh. Woo! He nearly kills Ahsoka, but then it stops. Like, I had a sad ending because, like, everything that happened on the ship because of Order 66. But I think that was a perfect ending for the Clone Wars. And, I think that's the perfect ending for this list. Again, I know there's like more TV shows and whatnot for Star Wars, but I have only watched 5 Star Wars shows, and I enjoyed every single Star Wars series that I mentioned on this list. But I would say that the Clone Wars is like my favorite, and I hope for like future Star Wars TV shows to happen, and I'm hoping they're as enjoyable as the ones that I mentioned on this list. So, with that being said, happy Star Wars Day. I hope you all enjoyed, and don't forget to keep on signing. Bye!